Watching 2K Sports. It's a Saturday presentation of the NBA. It's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Portland Trail Blazers. And with the tip-off on the way, let's go to Kevin Clark and Steve, who are courtside for today's broadcast.
And there are the Trailblazers earlier getting set to play. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan on this Saturday afternoon. On the sideline and coming up later, Doris Burke. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for the Grizzlies. And at the 5, the 5th overall pick in the 2011 draft, a fleet-footed 6'11" big man out of Lithuania, Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Anderson, and it's Jackson in at the 4-man position. And then for the Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard out there with McCollum. And they've got Hassan Whiteside, the rangy 7-footer out of Marshall, holding down the center position. Then it's Trevor Ariza, and it's Anthony in at the 4.
Well, throughout the league and its history, defenses always travel well. And to be good and consistently good in the NBA, you've got to bring that defensive mindset and execution. Offense comes and goes, defense stays.
Well, Clark, you said defense a part of the game that never has an off night. And it's why the Grizzlies, Steve, were so tough on the road and really such a tough team in general.
Well, 24-17 on the road is an amazing record for any club. And I think Memphis, they did it with their defense and their rebounds. They were able to enforce their identity on the road with that toughness, with that edge, and it really paid off big time.
And as rebounders go, guys, he is amazingly active on the board, relentless.
And it serves two purposes. One, I mean, it gets him a lot of rebounds, of course, but two, it takes a lot of toll on the opposition. They wear you down.
And, you know, the thing he might do better than anything else, guys, is bang the offensive glass. I mean, he really works hard at that.
You got it out. You got it out. Put your pitch down there. I got shoot.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
You know, for now, the Trailblazers are still the basketball team in the Pacific Northwest. You know, Seattle made a strong push to acquire the Kings. Later records did, but the owners decided that Sacramento had done its part to keep the Kings, and so Seattle has to wait. He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that whistle.
A very unpopular call there.
Lillard outside.
Back. Go street. I got ball.
He's outside. Inside. It's tipped. Stolen by Brooks. And here we go with Brooks running out of the court. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Boy, nice one-man fast break on that one.
It sure was a stylish finish to cap it off, too.
And so here's Portland. It's a 3-point game. And Clark, going back, the Blazers, one of 3 teams in the Pacific Northwest. You also had the Sonics in Seattle and, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
And I think those two cities, particularly Seattle, Kevin, are strong contenders for a new NBA franchise. Of course, Seattle almost ended up with the Sacramento Kings, but when Sacramento was awarded the franchise, a lot of people felt like it was only a matter of time before Seattle would be granted an expansion team.
Jackson passes to Anderson. And Brooks from outside. He's out the rebound. Memphis on defense. Let's find out what Doris scores.
Well, guys, the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers gave me just a couple of minutes. He told me there aren't many big men with the mobility and length of Jonas Valanciunas, and that he's a player they'll really have to account for, saying, quote, JV's still developing his skill set, but there just aren't that many people in the world of his size. And you factor in his motor, he can really impact a game. Guys, we'll see how they try to deal with him.
All right, Doris, thanks. Free throw good from Lillard.
Well, for the Portland Trailblazers, a new training staff hired over from Oklahoma City. Let go of their previous trainer who'd been with the team for 19 seasons. But fair or not, I think the seat got hot after all the injuries that were really devastating this team.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Shang's checked in. Now here's Brooks. Outside Jackson. And another basket for Memphis.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 from the floor, so a good start for this club.
And for the Blazers, statistically the most injured team in the NBA from 2009 through 2012.
And the new training staff is advanced in not just injury treatment, but injury prevention, and that's key, using strength bands, recording baseline measurements for muscle strength and flexibility, even using Eastern medicine, so they're not leaving any stone unturned.
And a missed layup.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions. Get there, get there.
Defended by Lillard. 6 to shoot. Brooks right side. That one's good.
How about this? They're shooting 80% so far. I know it's early, but offensively they look great.
Lillard kicks to Anthony. Jackson on him. To Lillard. Pass to McCollum. And the basket by Lillard.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
And the Grizzlies leading by 3. He kicks to Anderson. From outside the arc. Hits the bucket. Anderson's got his first 3 points of the game.
Boy, they've settled into their offense very quickly here today.
Yeah, they're zoned in, making the most out of their possessions here.
Lillard dishes to McCollum. Back to Lillard. 1:58 left in the first quarter of the game.
Good. They have got to put a body on him, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
Anderson outside. It's off his leg. And they're saying he kicked the ball. Minute 42 left to play in the first quarter. Gets it to go.
That's 2 straight quick three-pointers they've allowed.
They better not make it 3 straight, because now all of a sudden you're looking at a hot streak.
Reza pass to inside.
Man's power flush with the long hang on the rim at the end of it.
Clark, that could be a catalyst for him.
I think you're right.
Well, we've seen these kind of plays get them going in the first for sure.
And the dunk by Jackson.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
Here's McCollum after the made shot from Jackson. Right side kicks to Anthony. This is to Lillard. Can't hit. Great D that time from Anderson.
It's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Outside Jackson. There's the 3. Memphis with the 3.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
Yeah, unless they make some rotations and closeouts defensively.
And here's McCollum. And a 3-pointer from Jackson. Gets the bucket.
How about that? They respond to a 3-pointer with a quick 3 of their own.
Yeah, terrific. Great back-and-forth sequence right there.
Anthony with the ball. Here's Ariza. Ariza's got his first basket. And so it's Memphis with it. Leading by 5. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock.
Who's got a ball?
Here's Morant. And again, it's Memphis with the 3.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the 3-point line. That's 4 of the last 5. You got to run those guys off the line.
Defense is giving them those shots, though.
Here's Miller.
Hammer time. Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark, brilliant throwdown.
Yeah, just exerting his authority out there.
Here's Jackson. They're scoring fast and furious. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And the other thing we're seeing is great ball movement. We're seeing a lot of good offensive execution, ball movement, player movement, setting up assists.
And the Grizzlies leading by 6.
Well, in many ways, the Grizzlies aren't like most teams out west. They don't have a superstar to lean on for big baskets at the end, but they still know how to get wins in the tough Western Conference.
And Miller kicks to McCullough. Makes the lead pass. Stolen by Brooks.
Push it, push it.
Oh, here we go.
Shot! Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And really it is. This would go 56 and 26 overall. And Steve, with 34 of those wins courtesy of other teams in the Western Conference.
Well, they didn't seem to play like a lot of the other teams in the West, but it didn't matter. I mean, defense, toughness, rebounding, they were who they were. They established their identity, and that's one of the reasons they became such a tough team in that conference.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. They get Hassan Whiteside.
Well, for the Grizzlies, the 5th best record in the league last season, guys. Defeated the Clippers and the Thunder in the playoffs, but it all came crashing in when the Spurs swept them in the conference finals.
Well, and back in that series that Clark was talking about against the Spurs, more competitive than it might seem. Steve, you and I were talking about this. 3 of the 4 games were close. In fact, 2 obviously really close, going to overtime.
But I thought the weakness of Memphis was really exposed, Kevin, and that was the outside shooting. San Antonio just guarded the paint. They took Zach Randolph pretty much out of the series, and they begged Memphis to shoot from long range. And when you don't have floor space in the playoffs, it makes it awfully tough to score.
You know, guys, Portland had one of the worst benches in the history of the league last season. You know, they didn't get much contribution there. It was almost like they went into every game playing 5 versus 12.
Well, as Clark was talking about when referring to the Blazers, the bench scoring was a big problem for him as they didn't have anyone really outside their starting 5 that Steve could be counted on for 7 points or more a game.
Yeah, look, the NBA game is 48 minutes long. It's tough to survive for those full 4 quarters when you have no offensive punch off the bench. But I think this offseason they added a lot of firepower, a lot of scoring in reserve, and we'll see if that makes a difference for this team this year.
The layup missed. Memphis leading by 11. Zach Jackson.
I got him!
Some nice passing there by Memphis. Offensive rebound. Portland's gone 1-2 now 3 quarters here in the second quarter. And McCollum with the save.
Up high and down hard with the one hand.
Got a little extra force with that one.
I think he's hoping to kind of get his teammates going.
Clark slams it in. And the Grizzlies lead by 11.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer toughness.
Way to finish that!
I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity. Clark to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the deficit, a major energizer, too.
as good a job offensively as the defensive presence was almost non-existent.
Come to me!
They may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier. Well, Blazers coach Terry Stotts is a branch on the tree of head coach George Karl, and that's a pretty good tree to be on. In his playing days, Karl coached Stotts in the CBA. Actually, Stotts had a pretty good career in Europe.
Good on the shot.
No matter who it is, that kind of defense is not going to cut it.
And the Grizzlies leading by 6. Got a piece of it. Morant defended by Simon. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play. And for Terry Stotts, after his playing days, he coached as an assistant under George Karl, both in the CBA and then with the Sonics and the Bucks.
And over 2 decades of coaching experience, Kevin. This is his 6th season overall as an NBA head coach. Remember, he coached the Hawks as well as the head man. But I thought he did a nice job with Portland last season.
Boy, it was a tough year for Portland, and a lot of that was because they didn't get much done in points in the paint. Not only did they not score in the paint, they gave up a lot of points in the paint as well.
The Grizzlies have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. The open shot from Jackson. Portland grabs the miss. Whiteside's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Pass to Salem. Kicks to Whiteside. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup. Whiteside's got 9. Well, Clark, you were talking about them giving up points in close. That's the biggest issue Portland faced last season. Steve dead last in the NBA when it came to that game.
Yeah, near the bottom of the league in blocks as well. You just don't win in this league without good interior defense. You have to be able to clog the paint and force outside shots and keep people from scoring. And it seemed like it was a layup line against the Blazers last year.
Now here's McCollum. Tight defense on him. And there's the pass to Whiteside. It's stolen by Valanciunas.
And a 2-for-1 opportunity.
Yeah, they got to hurry. Step on the gas.
Stolen by McCollum. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Simon, the pass to Whiteside. Pass to McCollum. That's a go with the 3.
Crash the board! Crash the board!
Again, missing. Here's Jones. Looking for his first basket. Powered down as the whistle blows. A 3-point play chance. Like some serious agility coming out of the backcourt.
You know, that bucket might count for a little more than 2 points when he finishes with that kind of flourish.
Yeah, against a D that was already reeling a little bit. That was like a body blow.
The Grizzlies shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here. Just 4 seconds left now here in the second. He got it up. And that concludes the first half. It's the Grizzlies. They're up by 10. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
Now, presented by Sprint.
NBA basketball on a Saturday night. Oh, the perfect weekend activity. Family friendly and a whole bunch of fun. Let's check out the action. It's been the Grizzlies having their way. Offensively, they've been in a zone. A lot of great team play, providing looks from all over the floor. Jonas Valanciunas playing well in the first half. You have to love the way he's asserted his will on the offensive end. And hanging tough, the Portland Trail Blazers. They're scoring at ease. Is it great offense or weak defense? Whatever it is, they're lighting up that scoreboard. Some great work out there by Damian Lillard. He's up to 9 points, and he's made some key plays in the assist department, too. That's all we've got here. Now, back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the third quarter about to get going. And the Grizzlies leading by 10.
Come get it!
Feeds it to Valanciunas. He dishes it to Brooks.
Shot! That's all you, man.
Open jump shot. Brooks has got the first field goal of the second half for Memphis. Kicks to Anthony.
Stay on it.
Back to Lillard.
No shot.
Deep. Shot is off. And it's Memphis the other way.
The Grizzlies had the second best defense in the league last season after the Indiana Pacers guys. And on the perimeter, they had speed with Conley and Tony Allen inside, size and strength. Stephen Saul, who's the defensive player of the year, and Zach Randolph. They were tough to score against.
Heard the whistle and still kept his focus, able to knock that down.
And that is not easy, Steve. I mean, to take the bump, to maintain control of your body, and put it in the hole, tremendous play.
And Clark, you mentioned the size inside for the Grizz. They tied for the second best rebound percentage in the league. And Steve, that was a huge area for them.
And on the perimeter, they were in the top 5 in steals, Kevin. So you talk about defense and rebounding and low post scoring. I mean, that's a really good foundation for an excellent team.
And so it's Memphis with it. They've held a 12-point lead early. It's Anderson off the drive. It's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
Heads-up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish. He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
A lot of noise coming from these fans. Pretty unhappy with that.
Well, you know, we got a lot of amateur officials in the crowd, and not one of them.
I'd love to see them impose their will a little bit more on the backboard. Usually that's a great way to take control of the game.
Well, they haven't been able to do that yet, but it's something they're certainly capable of.
Lillard dishes to Ariza. Third quarter basketball, about a minute and a half in. That's good. Whiteside's got 11. Timeout called the Grizzlies. And at this point of the game, always important to stay focused. And while the coach goes over the game plan, these players are getting a much-needed chance to rehydrate and refuel with Gatorade. You guys, we know the drill well, all three of us drinking the Gatorade too.
Yeah, right. I mean, Kevin, people have no idea the fatigue that can set in during a telecast. And so it's important for us to stay hydrated all game long.
Clark, you're always hydrated.
But it's usually a combination of H2O and Gatorade.
I love Gatorade. Look at Steve, got the Gatorade shirt on.
He's really immersed in the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Lillard having a good one. He has 9 points and a decent little assist total for him, too.
Yeah, he's played really well, moving the ball around, and you'd like to see the rest of the team kind of get into that same passing groove that he's in.
He hits both from the strike.
Well, you can count on him, can't you? He seems to knock down free throws consistently all game long.
Right there.
Now the feed to Jackson. Anderson outside. Back to Jackson. Launches a three. That's good. Jackson's got 14 points for the game.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Trailblazers trail by 10.
Well, it's pretty obvious, guys. Portland has a lot of young talent. The defensive effort has to get better. The intensity and concentration at that end of the floor has to work, which is always something for a young team. But to get better, it's going to have to start with defense there.
And you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
To the paint. Here's Valanciunas. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Grizzlies lead by 9.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to drive them the ball.
That's been so critical, Clark, because whenever they have gotten the ball into the paint, it's resulted in points, it seems like.
Relentless on the glass is what he is, and that tip-in was the result of all the hard work he puts in down low.
And Anderson kicks to Valanciunas. The Grizzlies have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts.
And they averaged about 77% from the free throw line a year ago. So this is a solid free throw shooting team.
That one is no good. Trailblazers have gone 4-7 to get Minnesota here in the second half. Take by Ariza.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir. That may put a little life back into this team.
Portland finishing second to last in opposing team shooting percentage play. That's interesting. Defense, something that usually needs to be learned in the NBA, and the Blazers were a young team last season, Steve, and easily a team learning game by game.
Yeah, youth or not, though, Kevin. I mean, 48% against you defensively in terms of field goal percentage. That can't happen. So a lot of improvement in store for this Portland team. They really have to lock in on the defensive end.
He feeds it to Whiteside. Some solid defense there from Jackson. And the Grizzlies leading by 7. Anderson picks the Brooks. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Brooks has got 13.
Perseverance paying off on the offensive boards, guys.
Raise up, passes to Whiteside. He gets it to McCollum. He passes to Ariza. Dishes to Lillard. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots from 14. And the jumper is on the mark. Lillard's got 7 points for the quarter.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
Back to Jackson.
Throws on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley.
Beautiful connection on that.
Ariza with the bucket.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
And stolen by Lillard. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark.
Kick it out, kick it out.
Guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that. And then failing to get that transition.
And they will call over the back on the play.
Well, he gave the officials no choice there. Easy call, went right over the top.
Yeah, he's got to go straight up when he's under the boards in that kind of traffic. Hit chest first into the man in front of you. That's a foul.
Brown, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. Good on the second free throw.
He did the important part at the line there. The heavy lifting, if you will. Made this a 2-possession game.
Lillard outside.
Metal. We got this.
Lillard leads the dish to Brown. Back to Lillard. Plus 5 on the clock. Pass to Brown. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Tigers. And offensively, a great show for the fans through the... All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
Well, the great passing we saw in the first half was carried right over into the second.
They're taking care of business in the paint. Come to me. Valuable points they've been getting down low.
Lillard attacking. Kicks to Brown. Anthony. Deflected. Stolen by Brooks. It's tipped.
I got him.
And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Lillard with the ball. Ariza kicks to Anthony. Comes up empty down low. And the Grizzlies leading by 5. The pass to Valanciunas. On the wing. Brooks. Lays it up and banks it in. Brooks has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Memphis. Lillard attacking. Pass to Brown. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. Brown, no good on the free throw. Memphis has gone 5 of 9 when they put up the three-point shot tonight. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Back to Jackson. And here, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So we've got a couple of free throws coming up. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Whiteside's checked in. Trailblazers trail by 6. He dishes it to Lillard. Fires the three. Grizzlies with the rebound. They have a 12-point lead early. And he loves it. Jackson gets it to go. And the Grizzlies lead by 8.
Unstoppable offense from both teams. I love the pace this game has been played at.
So does everybody else in the building. This has been a fun one.
Now a timeout called by Portland. You have to like what we're seeing from Jackson.
He's definitely rolling offensively. You might not be able to stop him, but you've got to find a way to contain it.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Yes, I had a chance to find out what the Trailblazers head coach was going over with his guys. He was riding them pretty hard for the number of silly fouls they've committed in this game. He said, listen, we need to have some defensive discipline. Stop fighting on the shot base, stop reaching in, and stop giving them free points at the free throw line. We'll see if they'll respond, guys.
Memphis leading by 5. Morant defended by Lillard. To the inside. Soft touch off the glass.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Here's Morant. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. And it's a 9-point Memphis lead.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. That's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically lay-ins.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
And Lillard kicks to McCollum. Back to Lillard. Feeds to McCollum. The three. That one goes.
There's no way a player like him can be left wide open like that. Did you pay attention to the scouting report?
Grizzlies have gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. Now a timeout called by Memphis.
Well, he wants to get everybody on the same wavelength, that's for sure. He may change up some things here as well.
Looks to me like he saw something that wasn't on the plan and picked now as the time to address it. I don't have a problem with that.
Stolen by McCollum. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Lillard with it. Now Valanciunas defending. And Lillard gets to Ariza. Back to Lillard. He bangs it home with one hand. He can fly, Kenny. He'll make you for days. Sometimes.
Yeah, when he does decide to attack the basket, Kevin, he can do it with the best of them.
And this is the time to attack. With these two teams locked in such a close game.
On the run, Jackson. The feed to Jackson. Select to Jackson. Here's Morant. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
Yeah, he got waxed. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line, and that puts them up by 5. Portland's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Out to Brooks. He feeds it to Anderson. First one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. He's off on the free throw. They're going to get that second one to drop in. He kicks it to McCollum. Stolen by Jackson. Valanciunas dishes to Anderson. And it's Portland with the rebound.
Well, it's going to be tough for them, but you have to continue to compete. It's not over. Just play. See what happens.
You can't afford empty possession.
They've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let them fly.
There's a minute left in the fourth quarter. Portland's gone 3 of 4 from downtown here in the fourth. Here's Lillard. Rebounded by Jackson. Memphis has gone 5 of 9 when they put up the three-point shots. Clark will be trying to take as much time off the break as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see some long possessions out of them going forward.
Well, they're still within reach, but they need a hoop pretty much every time on the floor.
Well, they've got a little life, but they better execute every time.
Right there. Brooks outside.
Shot.
Dishes it to Jackson. And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul.
Hey, you can't let them pound the ball and just milk those precious seconds away.
No other option here but to foul and hope for a few misses at the line.
You got it out.
And so both free throws are good. And it's a 5-point game.
I don't need to tell you guys, those free throws are big. It's a 2-possession game now.
17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Yes! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Oh, what a clutch shot. That could be the difference maker.
Big moment in this game.
And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible. Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
And it just feels like those are the free throws that probably put this game out of reach.
We've got 13 seconds left to play in the game. Sinks it. And that shot brings them to within just 1.
He is bombing it today. How many more threes are we going to see from him?
Well, we've already seen plenty. The majority of his points have come on that shot.
He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. So he gets them both, and it's a 3-point game.
Absolutely massive free throw. That'll force them into a free throw.
One passes to a reason. He nails it.
Go back as a good easy one. All the way out the hole and tie this game.
I have to say, pretty remarkable, Steve. At one point, I thought they were done.
Timeout called the Grizzlies. Shot from the inbound. Second shot is offline. Regulation is up. And what great competition we're seeing so far. After 4 quarters, a stalemate. And we'll see now how these two teams in these few minutes of basketball pan out. And it's going to be the Trailblazers off the tip. So the overtime period is now ticking away. Should be fun. Ariza against Anderson. There it is, guys. That Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Brooks with it. And the whistle stops gameplay. It's not a clean block shot. Instead of shooting foul, and we'll see free throws coming up right here. That free throw, no good.
Don't worry.
And he's good on the second. Portland leading. Down low. Here's Whiteside. From inside. And it's off the back rim. No good.
They haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They need to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
Here's Morant trying to find Brooks, who's got it now. Out of bounds. Portland takes possession. And for the Trailblazers, they're shooting the ball really well in this game, 58%. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Off the screen, Sweet loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
Now they'll take as many of those high percentage shots as they can get, guys.
Fouls resolved. 4 quarters not enough. We're just over a minute into overtime. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones. A long time without a basket.
They got to find something. You're right. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Morant defended by Simon. And here we go. McCollum's got the fence. And the dunk by Ariza.
You know, regardless of who starts the break, it seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
About 90 seconds off the clock here in the extra period. And D2 from Anderson. That one wide left.
Boy, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
And even 3-on-3 break. That's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here.
Nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
Off the inbound pass. And it's blocked by McCollum. And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession. Trailblazers leading by 5. Ariza outside. He passes it to McCollum. Here's Whiteside. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the result you get right there.
And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That's his first foul. Just about 2 minutes in now to this overtime period. What a game. Passes it to Jackson. And it's Portland with the rebound. This game looks like they've got it just about wrapped up.
You're exactly right. I mean, take care of the ball, work the clock. It's a wrap.
Yep, nice game. Here's Whiteside. It's a baby hook. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
That's going to be it. Great work at the charity stripe. That'll close this game out.
We're in overtime. If you just joined us, 2.5 minutes through it. To the middle. Here's Valanciunas. Banked in off the glass.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
The Clark, they can burn some clock if they want to.
Yeah, maybe buy a little oxygen while they're doing it.
No way you can come back from this deficit.
Just left on the clock.
Off with the layup.
Got a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Pass to Simon. The dish to McCollum. From half. And so it's Portland winning this one. You know, Clark, they couldn't put him away in regulation, but after a superb performance in overtime, they managed to get the job done.
Yeah, just an amazing game, but they pulled away at the end.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Hassan Whiteside.